Today's podcast is brought to you by Audible.com. Get a free audiobook download at www.audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Over 100,000 titles to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player.
Everybody, and welcome to the Sports
Podcast.
I'm Joel Anderson.
I'm Jordan Pomaville.
And joining us, as always, is the sports outsider, Phil Ranta.
Why do you call me a sports outsider all the time?
Because you don't know anything about sports.
That would be a description.
Stay gold, pony boy.
Thank you.
Stay gold.
I am not a pony boy. I am a man.
You're an outsider, though, in the sports kingdom.
Yeah,
Kingdom.
in the like the animal kingdom.
That didn't work at all.
You're not in the court.
Right. That's
See, that's
true.
double meaning of court there.
Is
Sports
he
kingdom.
friend of the court? There's a Latin term for that.
I think I am. There's a lot of sports fans now since this podcast started gaining popularity that have started writing to me, and they clearly like sports.
They're not telling you about sports, are they?
No.
Make sure they know that if they inform you too much about sports, they will ruin the podcast.
No, usually they say things like, stop trying, don't quit your day job.
Oh.
It's
Yeah.
weird. One of the early network notes of the podcast was that the sports outsider, in fact, knows too much about sports.
Yeah, that was, yeah.
An odd note.
Huge sports fans,
That was
though,
back
they
with the-
know that I don't know much
That was
about
back
sports.
with when we had the old sports outsider, and that was Bob Costas.
It was not really a sports outsider.
No, he wasn't
No.
at all.
In
That was sort of a formatting error. I think Phil works much better
Yeah, I
than Bob
agree.
Costas ever
But
did.
that's back when you guys were recording on the BBC before you went to podcasts.
right.
That's right.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
And, Bob Costas, very interesting. We had a lot of fascinating discussions, but it didn't work with the format that
Not
we were
funny,
going
though.
for.
Not
Not
funny.
at
well,
all,
and I'd
yeah.
say, hey, Bob, you catch any games this week? And go, actually, on Monday, what I saw was, it's like, oh, he drove on and on and on
Yeah.
about all the games he saw.
Bob had always caught, like, a lot of games.
Yeah.
Oh,
Phil,
hypothetical.
You catch any games?
No.
Did
Not
you-
unlike Bob Costas.
Did you play any games?
Maybe.
Tecmo Bowl update, watch update.
Tecmo Bowl update, watch update, brought to you by
Febreze, taste the ears in your mouth.
Oh, man.
Wow.
That drop lost it.
Was
Taste
disturbing.
the ears in your mouth.
Yeah.
A
He
Mike
bur-
Tyson, Evander Holyfield reference.
Yeah, exactly.
16 years too late?
Yeah.
16.
And it
Has
sounded
been
like that
long?
person was running with the microphone when they said it.
Ah, it's awful.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a bad drop. Well, how are the 49ers doing?
The 49ers are now in Week 12. Well, they just finished Week 12.
We should say
Did they play?
1991
1991 49ers. Joe Montana, Jerry Rice doing great. They played the Cardinals this week.
I'm guessing you won.
Yeah. I'm
guessing you won by a lot.
66-0.
Yeah.
66. This is late in the season. They're starting to do really well.
Arizona then, much like now, not a very good
But
football team.
still, now that they're this late in the season, everybody's guarded on every play.
Oh.
So
you still managed to
Joe
score 66
Montana,
points.
200 yards rushing.
Everyone's guarding every play except they don't have a man stay at home on the quarterback.
That's the thing is
Yeah.
I send everyone out really long, and then after like 10 seconds, I just run past
Why don't
and
they?
nobody's there.
Why don't they run a QB spy? Where's
What?
the QB spy play?
I don't-
That's how you would counter that specific.
I don't think
offensive
they
strategy.
program that in the game.
Well,
clearly they
if,
did
if
not.
it took over half a season for them to say, you know what, we should cover people.
Yeah.
That's the computer's thought process. Is
Yeah.
these wide receivers who are going out to catch passes, what if we put defenders on them to try to prevent them from catching the ball?
I think the new Madden games fixed that glitch.
They
I think
might
they
have.
fixed the glitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, and what is the record now?
That would be 11-0.
Oh,
Getting close to
still
the
perfect.
end of the season.
72 Dolphins are sweating it.
Yeah, they are.
Sweating it.
All right, and who do you got next week?
Don't know.
Why is
Don't
that?
look ahead. Only I stay in the present.
That's right.
like a
pal.
true sportsman.
Tecmo Bowl update, watch update.
Tecmo Bowl update, watch update, brought to you by
Febreze, taste the feeling in your soul.
Whoa.
Wow,
That was
that was something.
intense and disturbing.
Don't know what that was, but it was something.
I thought it was poetic.
Okay.
Taste the feeling in your soul.
I feel like Febreze is really going for like an AMC kind of like really thoughtful programming approach.
Words right out of my mouth. I was going to say Febreze is basically the AMC of deodorizing products.
I agree. Co-branding. Smart.
Yeah.
They're catching on.
Yeah.
People like AMC.
Yeah.
My goodness.
New.
So what else do we have coming, Jordan, in this section we like to refer to as the intro?
New Cubs owner promises renovated Wrigley Field will bring world championship. Subheadline, throws in Middle East peace accords for good measure.
Yeah, because it ain't going to happen, right? I get it.
A $500 million non-taxpayer renovation of Wrigley Field, which will include an electronic scoreboard 3 times larger than the current one.
Wait, non-taxpayer funded?
There's going to be all privately funded.
Wow.
Tom Ricketts, the owner, says, this massive investment will help us generate the resources we need for our baseball operations to develop championship-caliber players.
Oh, yeah, because the Cubs are hurting for money.
If the plan is approved, we will win the World Series for our fans and our city. The site of Babe Ruth's called shot has just been the site of an even ballsier guarantee, a Cubs World Championship.
Jeez.
We went on to say, we need this project in order to bring our fans a winner. You need a lot of things to bring your fans a winner.
So, counting this current one, I'd like everybody to realize we're talking 3 more seasons until the scene in Back to the Future 2 when Marty travels into the distant future and they make the joke about how the Cubs just won the World Series against Miami, a fictional baseball team, will actually will be too conservative a prediction.
I would agree.
Yeah, but
that's coming up. We're coming up on that. I want everyone in 2015, as soon as the World Series is over, to stop and realize
nobody on social media will be on this.
Yeah, and it's time to invest in hoverboards now because that means that's coming true too, right?
Yeah.
Under the agreement being negotiated with the city, the Ricketts family would be allowed to build a 175-room hotel, a plaza, an office building with retail space, a health club, provide 1,000 remote parking spaces that will be free and come with shuttle service. What all of these added developments have in common is they're all way more likely to win a World Series than the Cubs. The shuttle service is currently 15-1, according to Vegas Sportsbooks.
That's not bad. Framework
of the deal, as I said earlier, includes a large electronic sports video screen that will be nearly 3 times the size of their current old-timey one. The video screen could be used to show baseball games of a good team for fans who prefer to watch a quality product in stunning high definition.
That's fair. You know, I've been to Wrigley Field. I've watched a game. I've sat and drank old-style beer. Not a very big space. Where are they going to put these hotels and whatnot?
That's all under negotiation. Rahm Emanuel's totally on it.
I think it's going to be subterranean. It's the only way it's going to work. Got to dig down.
Yeah, but then you got to pay off the Rat King.
Yeah, and the mole people. And the ancient Indian burial ground that's got to be under it for the Cubs to be playing so long. Yeah.
You know, honestly, if they came across an ancient Indian burial ground, it'd be a relief. They'd be like, oh, at least now we have a reason.
Yeah, excuse, yes.
Other than us just being awful.
Yeah. Hopefully, disturbing the remains couldn't possibly make this curse any worse.
Right.
NFL stadiums to get loud.
Yeah, what? Get loud, defense. Throw it back.
You could have said defense again. Would have been fine.
Most of the time,
I tried to think of a second thing.
Right, not a Febreze drop.
Not a good one.
The NFL is easing restrictions on what teams can do to make their fans get loud.
There were restrictions prior to now on what fan could do to make them loud.
Is that why there was always a librarian when I would go who was always shushing me and then pointing to a sign that said quiet?
Well, they can now use video prompts at any point in the game to urge fans to get loud.
Yeah, distraction.
NFL fans, as you know, are complete lemmings, and if a scoreboard implores them to make some noise, as they often say, they will in fact make some noise.
I believe it.
The NFL could harness this power for good, say having a scoreboard say, volunteer some of your time at a local shelter. However, they've restricted the messages to only of the make some noise variety, but maybe there's a compromise. Make some noise for better education funding and a big third down stop.
Yeah. The Pythagorean theorem is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Something like that.
Defense!
Now, who could possibly hate this?
I don't know. The NFL?
Glad you asked. An old white guy. Mike Ditka.
Of course.
He said, you call that noise music?
Yeah.
No, he didn't say that. He actually said, it's stupid. The NFL, who are they appealing to? It would be like owners working at their desk and all of a sudden they encourage people to come into their office and make a lot of noise. It doesn't make sense. The key to football is you want to be able to see it executed properly. You want to hear the snap count. You want to see the guys use their talents when where they're not tainted. Sometimes when you have a crowd noise, you're not seeing the player at its best.
Well, he's right. This explains the microscopic viewership of college football in America.
Yeah.
Nobody likes college football because they have all the atmosphere, the marching bands, the cheerleaders, and the football is not being executed as well.
Well, Mike Ditka had to be later told that it's the people paying money to watch the games that is the difference between him and the players being compensated for their work and tossing a football around between shifts at Jiffy Lube.
Right.
So maybe he should back off that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so shut your mouth, Ditka, with your Saturday Night Live sketches. Yeah.
NFL apparently is making a big effort to get fans to the stadium, which must be an issue because it's very popular on television. I think a lot of fans are saying, I could get drunk at home.
Yeah,
Yeah,
why?
I do.
Why would they care? I don't think I was under the impression the NFL doesn't need anyone to actually show up at the games.
Probably not. The owners would like it. So they're basically they're doing that. They're making it get louder. They're increasing instant replay, and they're encouraging teams to put cameras in the locker room.
Hello.
For the ladies.
Why would more instant replay make it more interesting for people at the game?
Wait,
apparently
you're not asking about the locker room cameras? That's confusing.
I understand why that would make it more interesting. To be
One at a time. They currently limit the amount of replays they can show at the game so people don't get up in arms over bad calls.
Oh, you don't mean like a review. You just mean that they're showing on like the Jumbotron.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
And now the locker room cameras are presumably for pre-game pep talks, things at halftime, the players getting psyched to run through the tunnel and get in.
And like showering and like cleaning off your penis, like things like
well,
that.
Hopefully it's not Dick's Sporting Goods dick shots.
Although that would be a really good branded entertainment.
I know. Whew.
It would. All right, one more real quick. Fired Rutgers coach Mike Rice spending his time off yelling at 12-year-old girls instead of college kids.
Wait, white rice?
Mike Rice.
Mike Rice. Okay. Athlete food puns. Hashtag.
Fired. We talked about how he should get fired. Got fired.
Yeah.
Apparently he's been the AAU coach of his daughter's team for some time.
Nice.
And a blogger was at the game and basically said he, just like his antics on the court at practice and at the games, he was yelling at the referees and actually said to a 12-year-old girl, "How can you look at me?"
Wow, that's
Yeah.
great.
Oh wait, I'm sorry, I actually misquoted that. It's "I can't even look at you."
Oh, good parenting right there.
Yeah.
The team's parents
most
support the
12-year-old
coach.
girls are stupendously confident.
Right,
I mean, just brimming with self-confidence. So I imagine they probably just
They
took it in
should be.
stride and moved on.
Every girl is a flower.
Yeah.
Special in her own way.
The parents support the coach and have called the report a gross representation of the facts before whispering, "Help. Don't leave, please. You don't know what he's like when there's nobody else around."
Nice.
All right, what do we got on the show today?
Let's see. We got second time on the show, Bud Selig.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
jeez.
I am so amped.
Dang it.
I love
Yep.
this guy. I
That
love
guy drives
Bud.
me nuts.
The steady hand on the wheel of baseball.
Yep, and Bud is here to talk about the Biogenesis scandal
right.
And what happened in Miami there. So that's
Right.
obviously a lot of news with that.
Right.
So
Well, I'll probably ask some hard questions about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I've just
Hardball.
got Biogenesis for the Xbox 360. I can't wait to play it.
there you go.
All right, and we're also going to have Carlos Quentin,
Yeah.
currently serving his 8-game suspension.
Yeah, that's why he's able to make it to the podcast because he's not playing right now because he broke the collarbone of one Zach Greinke.
Yikes.
So he got hit with a pitch, charged the mound, broke Zach Greinke's collarbone. He's suspended, so he's on the show, and I think he wants to clear the air with pitchers.
Oh,
that's
okay.
Nice.
All right.
I think that's
Because
nice
Carlos
thing.
Quentin, like the most hit player in baseball over the
Yeah.
last like 5 or 6 years.
I don't know if it's 5 or 6, but definitely 2, and he hasn't even played a full season those years.
Oh yeah, 232 times I want to say.
Oh, Jesus.
yeah, that's a lot.
That is a lot.
Wow.
Phil, we got a weird sport?
You're goddamn right we do.
All right, let's get started.
Okay, happy to have on the podcast today former Chicago White Sox, current San Diego Padre, big-time slugger, outfielder Carlos Quentin.
It's a pleasure to be here, guys. Thanks.
Hey,
God,
Just take a seat. Just take a seat.
Okay.
No,
just right here in this chair.
Yeah, just right there. No
Oh God, it leans back. Okay, sitting.
No, it's not a big deal.
Yeah,
It's not a
you
big
seem
deal.
awfully jumpy, Carlos.
What?
You seem awfully jumpy.
What?
There's really no need to be this.
Okay,
jumpy.
you're gonna have to put your hand down. Put your hand down.
Okay.
I don't want to have to charge your seat.
You're not gonna.
You're gonna charge your seat.
No.
Whoa.
The
No,
way-
put your
come on.
you
You know, Carlos.
Put your hand down.
I actually pitched in high school.
No, oh, you pitched, huh?
Yeah. I
You
was
pitched,
a
huh?
pitcher.
Just why don't look? Don't glare at me. Don't
Okay,
glare at me.
sorry. Hey,
All right. Don't glare at
yeah.
me.
Give him the stink eye. So Carlos, we were going to ask. You are the most hit
Yeah,
player
what?
in Major League
Don't say
Baseball
hit.
right now.
Don't
You've
say hit.
taken over 232 baseballs.
Duh.
Fired at screamingly fast velocities.
Okay, you're gonna have to keep it down.
At
I
your
like
body.
all volume. I
Just
like all voice.
zoom, one after another, cracking you in the ribs, in the back. Some of them even flying at your head.
Look, I'm gonna want you to keep all of your volume at one register. I like good,
okay. Sorry
consistent
about that.
tones.
Yeah.
You know the thing on the TV that goes just go boop. I want you to be like that. Be like the boop.
You want me to speak in a monotone the entire time?
Thank you. That's much better.
Okay. Look, are you?
There's been a wide range of fan reaction
Okay.
to you charging the mound and breaking Zach Greinke's collarbone.
Yeah. Sometimes you just you have too much. You know, people just they keep throwing the ball at you, and you just have too much, and all you can do is the anger inside of you is like a demon, and the demon comes into your fists, and then the fists go into a collarbone, and then all of a sudden I'm not playing baseball.
Carlos, you
God.
look
No,
really
a butterfly
antsy
just,
right now.
A butterfly just flew past the window.
Yeah, it was,
Oh, God.
beautiful.
It was a butterfly.
It was
Oh,
a
God.
window
It was a
between
butterfly.
you and you know
Really
what you
nice
need?
day.
But don't point at me. Don't point at me.
I think you need a snack to help you calm down.
Okay,
Hang on, I
yeah,
got
that's
some
a good thing.
peanuts.
Okay.
Here you go. Heads up.
Oh God! Oh God!
Here,
God, that almost hit me in the
hand them to you.
You're
They're-
so
No,
lucky.
that's
I almost charged the seat.
Here, these are actually really fun to open because
Okay.
they're kind of in like an air-filled container, so you can just
Okay.
kind of pop them like.
Was that? What was that?
It was a thing of peanuts.
It was a.
It's from the airplane.
I was just. What is that?
Oh,
What is
Joel's
that?
breaking in his mitt.
Breaking in my new mitt.
Oh jeez! Don't stop with the noise! Stop with the noise! Stop with the noise! Hey, I'm gonna charge you.
Well,
I'm just warning you right now. I'm gonna charge you.
I don't want you to break my
the
collarbone.
mid down.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, how do you deal with? I mean, you can't handle noise now, but how do you? There's a lot of noise at the stadium. During
Oh,
the game.
yeah.
Oh God!
There's all sorts of cool stuff. There's the cheers.
Oh, I
like,
love the
yeah.
cheers.
No,
Da 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 da.
You know, like
Okay.
charge. They go. Da-da-da-da-da.
Charge.
Most of the time, I'm a Buddhist, okay, and I spend a lot of time just trying to find my own centered place where there's not a lot of noise and not a lot of things being thrown at your head. So it's kind of like my sanctuary that lives inside of me, constantly keeping the demons locked down.
If you're a Buddhist, why did you break Zach Greinke's collarbone? I mean, that was the third time Zach Greinke had hit you. You feel like people are out to get you?
Even Buddhists have demons, Joel. Even Buddhists have demons.
What have you been doing with your time off? Where do you find yourself? In these,
It's good. I spend a lot of time in libraries, just shushing people. I find it very calming.
Okay.
I spend a lot of time in my panic room. I've got a panic room. It's in my basement, in my sub basement, because Lord knows the basement can still be susceptible to baseballs. I will not give you the door code, but let me assure you that there is a lot of quiet reading going on in there. Oh, God!
You know what I think would help you relax, Carlos?
I
think you should learn how to juggle.
Oh,
Okay,
learn how to juggle,
I got
okay.
these 3 baseballs right here.
Joe, you put down those baseballs.
We're gonna start tossing them in the air just like this. Just like it's no big deal, Carlos.
Oh, yeah.
No big deal at all.
Oh, God. That's it. I'm charging the seat. I'm charging the
whoa,
seat.
oh, shit.
Oh,
Go.
Carlos
God.
Quentin. Guys,
die.
put down
die
Joel.
with the baseball
Put
in the
down
face.
Joel. Please put down Joel.
Oh, God.
Joel, take
The
the.
demon inside me.
All right. Thank you for coming out today, Carlos. Have fun, I guess, with the rest of your time off, and we look forward to you resuming play with the San Diego Padres. Joel, you all right, buddy?
Carlos.
I'm a monster.
All All right. I'm always happy about this. I love this guy.
Yeah, I know you do.
Well, it's just obviously a huge baseball fan.
Yeah.
Joel, not the biggest fan of his. He's had a lot of problems in the past, so he's out.
Yeah.
But I would like to welcome to the studio, Your Honor. I think that's what you call a commissioner
I just call him
of
Bud,
a major
Bud
sport.
Selig,
Commissioner Bud Selig.
Hey.
Hey guys, how's it going?
It's going well. It's always a pleasure, bud.
Great to be in the podcast again.
It's great to have you back. How are you? What's
doing
going on?
doing good. Season's in full swing.
Yeah.
Yep, full swing.
Pun
Get
in-
it?
Yeah, that's a good pun. Joel would have enjoyed
Oh, Zell, wow.
I'll enjoy
But
it
yeah,
for him.
lots
No,
of people
that's-
playing baseball. Everybody's happy. Not a negative thing in the world right now.
Well, we have to bring it up, Bud.
Yep.
And I'm one of your biggest fans. What you've done for the game the past
Time to get to the question, Jordan.
Okay.
All right.
Biogenesis.
Oh, okay. You know what? I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but I do guess I had a little talk about this. So for the listeners at home who are probably unaware, there was this. It was an anti-aging clinic in Miami, and a few of our players were visiting that clinic. And I feel real bad for them because they were not old guys. I think they had probably some real self-confidence issues.
Well, it was not necessarily. It was in name an anti-aging clinic. However, they were distributing, performance-enhancing drugs. They
Oh,
were distributing.
boo.
well, yes, but
drugs.
only to help people not
Whoa,
age as
stop.
fast.
That's where I stop you. Come on. If they're doing performance-enhancing drugs, that's illegal. They should be booted and booed.
I told them all you guys need to do is once a day a brisk walk and a tablespoon of castor oil. Keeps you
That's great
regular,
advice. That's
keeps
great
the heart
advice.
beating. That's how you stay young.
No, you're
But-
missing the point. They do it because they juice themselves up so that they're better, faster, stronger.
I prefer to give these guys the benefit of the doubt.
No,
I
they're
think they
doing
were
it.
just trying to
They're
stay
dumb.
young.
Well, I mean,
But yes, as it turns out, I think totally unbeknownst to the players, the doctor who was treating them was using some bad drugs. Some bad drugs.
Of course they knew.
he was clearly
Of course
a
they
bad
knew.
seed because
No.
this doctor did not have a license. Did not
No,
have a
that's like
license.
Yeah.
to practice
blaming a
medicine.
drug dealer for somebody dying of a meth
Oh, you would be
overdose.
surprised how many of our players in Major League Baseball have been duped by drug dealers into
They're not
purchasing
duped. They know
illegal
what
substances.
they're doing. Then they have to take the illegal substances.
Are
right?
you suggesting that they're purchasing amphetamines and cocaine on purpose? That
Yes.
would be
yes, that is
be
what
awful.
I'm suggesting because the baseball
That's
players
not
need to
the
be
sort of behavior that we have. Well, anyway, I understand, and there was a big kerfuffle when one of those players, Mr. Alex Rodriguez.
Yeah.
I understand you guys know
He's
him.
my friend.
Yeah.
He's one of my best friends.
He's
Oh,
an
well, that's
intern
good
on
to
the
hear.
Podcast,
Yeah.
kind of. It's a big
Well, anyway, he had to go and purchase his medical records from this clinic. And I thought, that's just not fair. Gosh darn it. So I sent I made a call to the clinic and got a hold of one of the former employees and told him that I would like to purchase all the rest of the medical records of the Major League Baseball players who used to be going to his clinic.
Whoa. How much you spending? You're buying the medical records?
Yeah, well, that's a funny story. I was on the phone with this young man for quite some time, and it turned out he was quite a fella. Not only did I go ahead and purchase those medical records for a mere $1.7 million.
What? They were doing illegal things. How come they get rewarded?
But I don't know about this. This doesn't seem
Oh,
right.
no.
This seems a little
no,
shady.
let me tell you something. This guy was a real stand-up fella. While I was on the phone with him, he presented me with the whole bunch of other situations he was dealing with that I could help out with. For instance, you wouldn't believe this. He didn't have an accent, but it turns out his cousin is royalty in Nigeria.
Oh, come on.
Absolutely. And all he needed
But
was
I-
another $20,000 to reclaim his throne. And for that small investment on my part, I would be showered in riches once he returned
That's
to
the
royalty.
only scam in the
I
book.
don't want to say that you got duped, but it's very unlikely.
Oh, no.
This
Who
guy
would
got
lie
duped?
about being a member of the Nigerian
like
royal
a
family?
million people who've
Yeah,
emailed me.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those internet scams, bud.
Well, I was on the phone. How could it be an internet scam?
They can do
It's a
it.
phone scam, too.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, okay. Well, forget about that one. He had this other thing. He told me about. Now it's this investment where I can get a 200-300% return on my money in only a matter of months.
Oh no, that sounds like a pyramid scheme.
No, it's really simple. I make an investment, and as they bring in new investors, those people's money is used to pay back my
like
investment.
a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah.
A Ponzi scheme is really bad.
Well, I mean, a
don't you
know all
read
the
the
details?
papers?
Ponzi
No, I
scheme
get
sounds
it.
like fun. It sounds like a fun thing.
No, it's not like a Fonzie scheme or a Potsy scheme or any other family. What is that show called?
Happy Days.
Happy Days thing. It's not
Okay.
fun. You're ripping people off.
What?
Yeah.
Well, I will talk to him about that once I give him a call back.
This
Then
guy
he'll be
seems
gone.
really dirty.
He's
It
got a
really
burner
seems
phone.
very
He gave
cloak
me a
and dagger,
number.
this
He
guy
gave
with this
me-
under the table cash.
He told me he will call me. I didn't even need to call him.
Oh god.
And get this. He also let me in on, and he didn't tell a lot of people about this because it's a real big deal. But as it would turn out, the Brooklyn Bridge is up for sale.
No, it's
Yes,
not. No, it's
it
government.
is.
The government
For
owns it. It wouldn't be-
super cheap.
No. Oh.
For a mere $100,000, I
What?
have purchased the entire Brooklyn Bridge.
You are so dumb.
Hey,
That was
Hey,
the
that's awfully
dumbest. No,
mean
that
there,
was
Mr.
so
Ranta.
dumb.
Phil, you
No,
know,
he's so dumb. That was
a lot of
you
these
can't
schemes,
purchase
you know,
that bridge.
they prey on
He
senior
told me a
citizens
lot of
like
people.
Yeah.
Bud.
A lot
Don't
of
you
people
have
don't
any
think you
children
could.
who can stop you from doing this? Like put you in an old folks home?
Whoa, I don't think you should talk
No,
to the
or
commissioner
like
that.
put you in a straitjacket so you don't burn through all your family's money.
Well, you guys are so sure this guy's a lousy person. I'll have you know, I actually went down to where he works and said hi to him myself. Shook his hand, looked him in the eye, and he was a total stand-up
Well,
guy.
that's good. You know where he works. At
He
least,
taught
so.
me this game, and it's a really lovely one that involves a pea hidden under these shells.
Oh,
And he
my-
moves it back and forth, and you guess which
man.
shell it's under. And I tell you, I didn't do so well that first time, but next time I get a crack at it,
No,
I'm
don't.
pretty
There's-
sure I've
oh.
got this game licked.
You-
It was a lot of fun. Granted, the high cost of entry put me back pretty much all of the cash I was carrying.
Hey, bud.
Lucky thing I had credit cards, though.
Hey, bud.
What's that?
If you give me $100 right now, I'll give you $500 tomorrow.
Oh, well, that sounds like a very sound investment. Hang on, let me get
Oh,
my
Bud,
wallet.
Bud,
Yeah,
don't
there we
do
go.
it.
See,
No,
look
no,
at how
Bud,
how
don't,
can
no,
you
Phil
not?
is being
I'm
facetious.
How
a
can you not?
businessman. I'm going to get $500
not-
You're gonna
tomorrow.
get a
This is a
$500
fine investment. Here, take the money,
Thank you
Phil.
so much.
You know
so
what?
sorry,
I've got
Mr.
I've got
Commissioner.
$300 more in cash. Could I?
Well, geez, you'll get $1,500 back in a few days.
Oh,
for
well,
that.
hang on. Why don't I hand that over too?
All right, thank you.
Is there any chance I could give you my credit card and have you charge some on it?
Oh, yeah, totally. We can take credit
Okay,
cards.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
there's an American Express
All
card.
right, thank you.
There's a Visa.
All right.
There's
I
a
will not be party
MasterCard.
to this.
MasterCard. All right.
And
you know what? Just give me your wallet. Just give me
oh,
your wallet.
well-
I'll give you a wallet that's 3 times as cool.
Oh, well, this is already a pretty cool wallet. It's got
Yeah.
a picture of my wife and kids in it.
I'll give you three wife and kid shots of your family.
Wow. I don't know where you're going to get those, but that's a deal.
Well, thank you.
Here
All right,
go.
cool. I just got Bud Selig's wallet.
I'm really disappointed in you, Phil.
I'm really rich now.
Bud Selig, though a senior citizen, is still important to our society.
Hey, listen, when is this going to be on the radio, guys? Is it AM or FM?
Bud, it's been great having you on the show.
Yep.
See ya.
For you, the listeners of Sports Podcast, Audible is offering a free audiobook download with a free 30-day trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. I personally recommend a wonderful book called The Hunger Games by Suzanne Collins. Joel saw the movie. He said that it was okay. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network. Again, that's audibletrial.com/comedy podcast network for your free audiobook. And now it's time for another Weird Sports! Weird Sports.
Weird sports are back.
They are. They're back and they're better than ever, baby. This week's Weird Sport, Glima.
This isn't associated with the show Glee, right?
No, it's Glima. Glima.
Okay, I can get behind this then.
Glima on Fox. Lots of singing and
Oh, gosh
dancing
darn
and,
it, no.
No, it's not associated with the show. It's just on Fox, and there's a lot of singing and dancing. And there's kids who are gay and kids who are straight, and they're football player sings.
Doesn't sound like
there's a
I'd
kid
like
in a
it.
wheelchair, but he also sings, etc., etc., etc. All right, Glima is an Old Norse word that covers several types of Scandinavian folk wrestling, including Brockartak, Brockartak, Krigspenna, and Lausetok. I just want to spell
Could you-
Krigspenna for you.
Yeah.
Hrggspenna. For those of you counting at home, there's a sometimes Y, an E, and an A, and then 50 consonants. Scandinavian folk wrestling, Jordan.
Okay, I
What
got.
makes it folk
Yeah,
wrestling
yeah, I
as
get
opposed to just
wrestling.
wrestling?
What's the folk?
Well, let's just.
Do they have acoustic guitars the whole time they're doing it?
I'm going to go a little bit more into the background for it, and it'll become very clear.
Okay.
Glima is first mentioned in Viking poetry. A lot of people think Vikings are
That's
just like
funny.
these
I spend a
beasts
lot
who
of time
kill-
reading Viking poetry, and I don't know that I've.
Yeah, exactly. Most
Yeah.
Viking poetry is like meat and rape. How many ways can I count how much I love meat and rape? Grog.
See, you always cite that example to be funny, but most Viking poems rhymed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's true. Yeah, meat and rape.
Sure are great.
Yep.
Well,
I
it's a bit of
I
a
eat
forced
grapes.
rhyme.
Yeah.
Yes. Glima's first mentioned in Viking poetry by Bragi in Gamel Bodason.
Of course it is.
It happened somewhere between 790 and 850 AD. Kavelde for Bejerfassen, somewhere between 820 and 878, both of Norwegian heritage. The poetry is about the Norse god Thor and his journey to Utgard's Loki, where Ellie defeats Thor in a wrestling match. Yeah, Thor lost.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Who beat Thor?
That's got to be
Ellie?
an upset.
Who's Ellie?
I don't know, some chick.
Thor lost to a girl?
Nah, it might be a guy. I don't know. It just says Ellie. Glima is also mentioned in the Prose Edda, which is an Icelandic collection of texts from 1220, and the book of
Edda.
Yeah, Edda's their general name for books. And then also mentioned in the Gilfanging, something like that.
Somewhere our one Norwegian listener is like
It's just like
cursing and striking the table angrily.
Yeah.
How do you know he's not like, I'm getting my due here.
Yeah.
Finally, a weird sport I can relate to.
I think he was, but now he's like, and he's butchering the names.
The original Norwegian settlers in Iceland took Viking wrestling with them, and these combat systems have been used by the populace according to the Jarlsbook law book from starting in 1325. The oldest Icelandic competition in Glima is Skidjarvlon Glima Arman, which was first held in 1888 and has been held almost every year since. That's a
Ooh.
tradition right there.
Yeah.
Beat
Longer
that,
than the World
America.
Series.
Yeah, in 1905, the belt was introduced so that wrestlers could have a better grip on each other, kind of like sumo wrestling
Oh,
style.
I was really disappointed. I thought you were saying
Like,
like
a big
belt,
shiny
like a
victory
for
WWE
the
belt.
champion.
belt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of, but not.
No, just not.
Before that, the way that they got good grips on each other was holding each other's trousers. Held onto the trouser straps, flip people around.
Is this anything like the middle school weird sport wedgie wrestling?
Kind of a little bit.
The one that we showed Jordan last week.
Yeah.
We did those demonstrations in the hall.
Yeah. And then he went, "Oh, come on, guys."
Yeah, well, that really hurt. There's
Yeah.
no need
Yeah.
for that ever.
There was blood on your underpants.
I don't want to talk about
Before
Okay.
we
Before the in 1906, the first Islands Gleeman competition was held, where winners are named Glimkonger. In the 1912 Summer Olympics, there was a demonstration of Glima, although not a sport in contention. 1987, Glima was being taught in primary school in Iceland.
I don't think Phil has pronounced a single Scandinavian word correctly yet.
He's pronounced them all
I
hilariously.
know, hilariously. I think it's amusing though that
I'm
like
reasonably sure that I know how to pronounce some
like-
Norwegian words.
yes, in virtually any language, there's usually at least a couple words that you can actually pronounce, and it sounds like Norwegian is the most incredibly opaque language out there.
It could be. Well, let's dive a little bit.
Yeah.
In the form of Glima known as Brakkartok, The Bratark version is by far the most widespread in Iceland and Sweden.
It's one with click and clack, right?
This version is actually Iceland's national sport.
Oh.
Yeah, so they aren't just screwing around.
Been wondering what they played up in Iceland.
Yeah. Historically, it was also the one that put in the highest esteem for favoring technique over strength. Each of the two wrestlers wears a special belt around their waist, and separate additional belts on their lower thighs of each leg, which connect to the main belt with vertical straps. So it's kind of like bondage. Have you guys ever been
So
tied up
hot,
by a lady?
So fucking hot right now.
They oftentimes just keep tying in different
Just
places.
thinking of sweaty Norwegian dudes grabbing at each other's belts.
Yeah. A fixed grip is then taken with one hand in the belt and the other hand in the at the trousers at thigh height or in the thigh version of the belt. So they're both grabbing each other in the belts, right?
Yeah.
From this position, the Glima wrestler attempts to trip and throw his opponent. So from what I watched, it reminded me a lot of sumo wrestling. They're like pushing, except every once in a while, one of them will pick the other one off the ground and throw them or slam them.
Yes.
That
Yeah,
sounds
it's pretty
awesome.
sweet. It's way better than regular.
Didn't they say it was technique over strength?
Yeah, but in this one,
This
it's,
sounds like a strength sport to me.
no, because there's a lot of like where you get your leverage from.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Kind of like bondage, Joel.
yeah.
It's a lot of bondage. A thrown wrestler may attempt to land on his feet and hands. If he succeeds in doing so, he has not lost the fall.
So if you're thrown,
Yeah.
and you can stick it on your hands,
Yeah, like a little gymnast.
you're fine.
Yep. If you
It's
fall,
like football, yeah.
you
It's
lose
like it's
points.
not a tackle if you can like put a hand down and keep yourself from your knees touching.
Yeah. The winning condition in this type of Glima is to make the opponent touch the ground with an area of the body between the elbow and the knee. So if their belly touches, back touches, they lose a point.
This sounds really cool.
Yeah, there's 4 points that differentiate it from other forms of wrestling. Number 1, the opponents must always stand erect. That's where the bondage comes in. Hello! The opponents step clockwise around each other. It kind of looks like a waltz. This has created opportunities for offense and defense and to prevent a stalemate. So they just kind of circle each other trying to grab and
Oh,
turn
like
around.
sharks.
Yeah. It is not permitted to fall down on your opponent or push him down in a forceful manner. This is not considered sportsmanlike.
But you can throw them.
Yeah, you got to lift him and throw him. You can't
Okay.
just like tip over on him because it's bullshit.
Okay.
The opponents are supposed to look across each other's shoulders as much as possible because it's considered proper to wrestle by touch and feel rather than sight.
You know, again, a lot like bondage.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense to me. I'm going to go through the other one. Hægrispenna is more similar. It's more about strength and technique. They take a hold of each other's upper body instead of on the belts. And then there's the Lausatak, where they can hold each other however they want.
Oh, so they could
That's-
hug if they wanted to.
It's a lot
They can
like
hug.
bondage. Then.
Yeah.
It's wherever they want.
Yeah.
And like bondage, it sounds like proper footwork is the key.
Yeah. My favorite statistic in terms of world champions, there was a fella by the name of Armand J. Larson from 1954 to 1967, won
Woo!
every year.
13
years.
straight.
He's like Hulk Hogan.
That beats John Wooden. Plus, like how old was he when he won that last one?
No idea. Probably up there, right?
Must have been pretty old.
Yeah. It's pretty, I'm impressed. But seriously, look it up on YouTube. It's pronounced Glima. Glima. Pretty sure. That brings us to an end of another Weird Sport!
Citizens of Podcast Town, this brings to the close another Sports
Sports!
Podcast. Before we go, we'd like to give you our contact information.
You can email us at sportspodcast@gmail.com. That's sportspodcast@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at sports3podcast. That's at sports3podcast. You can find us on Facebook by searching Sports Podcast, your little top bar thingy. You can find us on Stitcher Radio. Download the Stitcher app today at stitcher.com and search Sports Podcast. You can find us on YouTube by going to youtube.com/comedypodnet. Joel Anderson just subscribed today, so you know it's good. That's youtube.com/comedypodnet. Or you can find all of our back episodes at comedypodcastnetwork.com. Or if you want to, go to iTunes. Check us out at Sports the number 3 space podcast. That's Sports the number 3 space podcast. Sports number 3 is all one word. Find all our back episodes. Please rate and review. Help us out.
That stumble is going to hurt him with the judging.
Yeah.
When the numbers come in.
Okay. That Russian judge hates me.
A 3 from that judge. Oh, God. The rest were like 5 point something or other.
Yeah. Didn't stick it. Didn't stick it.
Didn't stick it at all.
Yeah.
I had to go up to upper register, so I don't say what I mean.
Yeah.
You did a really good job, Phil.
If this was Glima, I
You're a
wouldn't
really
have stuck it.
handsome
I
guy,
lost a
Phil.
point. Thanks.
You're really intelligent. Lights off.
You have received this transmission from the Comedy Podcast Network. For more shows, visit comedypodcastnetwork.com.